Have you ever stopped to think about how the internet is literally shaping the minds of the next generation? We're not just talking about viral dances or trending memes. We're talking about the dark, toxic corners that influence real-life choices. Adolescence, Netflix's latest psychological crime drama, dives straight into this chilling reality. No sugarcoating, no soft landings. This four-part British miniseries isn't your average whodunit. We're not asking if a crime happened. We know that from the jump. A 13-year-old boy named Jamie Miller stabs his classmate, Katie. Yeah, that's the opening punch. But what follows, that's the gut-wrenching, brain-twisting part. The real question becomes, why did he do it? Adolescence doesn't waste time. It tells us early on, Jamie killed her. But it holds us hostage with the bigger mystery. What pushed a child, barely a teenager, to commit such a brutal act? And that's when it pulls back the curtain on the real monster, incel culture. The show doesn't just tell Jamie's story, it dissects how online misogyny, toxic masculinity, and the internet rabbit holes can infect young minds like a virus. It's a horror show for the digital age. And the scariest part? It's not fiction. It's all disturbingly real. The anatomy of Jamie Miller's mind. Episode 3 is where the show slows down and cuts deep. Jamie is questioned by a court psychologist named Bryony. This session isn't just therapy, it's emotional surgery. Bryony doesn't just ask about the crime. She digs into Jamie's ideas about manhood, his strained relationship with his father, his desires, his shame, his loneliness, and his dangerous fascination with the online incel world. You might be thinking, what even is an incel? The incel phenomenon. The word incel is short for involuntary celibate. It was first coined in the 90s by a Canadian woman named Alana, who started a website called Alana's Involuntary Celibacy Project. Originally, it was a safe space for people who felt isolated and unlucky in love. But, plot twist, the term evolved into something much darker. Today, incel communities are largely made up of heterosexual men who believe their lack of romantic or sexual relationships is the fault of women in society. They think the whole system is rigged against them, and it doesn't stop at sadness or rejection. These forums often spiral into full-blown misogyny and rage. According to the BBC, they even have their own twisted language. Women are Stacys, attractive, unattainable, shallow, and their ideal men are Chads, good-looking, successful, alpha males who get all the attention. It's like a bitter video game with real-world casualties, when fiction imitates reality, and vice versa. Jamie in Adolescence absorbs these beliefs. He thinks Katie rejected him because she saw him as an incel, and that humiliation festers until it turns lethal. The show's creator, Jack Thorne, explained in an interview with the BBC that Jamie is this vulnerable kid, and then he hears this stuff which makes sense to him about why he's isolated, why he's alone, why he doesn't belong, and he ingests it. He doesn't have the filters to understand what's appropriate. Sounds far-fetched? Unfortunately, it's not. Back in 2021, a man named Jake Davison went on a shooting spree in Plymouth, killing 5 people before ending his own life. He was active in incel communities, and investigators believe these toxic ideologies pushed him into despair and violence, according to Crest Research. That real-life tragedy mirrors Jamie's fictional descent all too well. Adolescence isn't about murder, but the virus that caused it. Yes, Adolescence is technically a crime story, but the murder is just the tip of the iceberg. At its core, it's an unflinching look at how online hate groups, loneliness, and misunderstood masculinity twist reality for young boys. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck caused not by malice, but by silence, by society's refusal to talk about what's really happening in the minds of teenagers. In episode 2, we see D.I. Bascombe, the lead detective, struggling to understand Jamie's motive. It's only when his own son reveals that Katie had bullied Jamie and called him an incel that the pieces start to fall into place. The manosphere, a whole universe of misogyny. And then there's the manosphere. If you're unfamiliar, the term refers to a network of online men's groups that promote sexist and patriarchal ideas. Incels are just a fragment of this galaxy. The manosphere breeds everything from alpha male influencers to violent extremists. In the show, we see this play out through other characters. Ryan gives Jamie the knife used in the murder, thinking it's just to scare Katie. Adam is bullied too, but resists falling into manosphere logic. Jamie's dad, Eddie, is a good man, but even he gets swept up by warped notions of masculinity and how to toughen up his son. The Matrix analogy, red pill versus blue pill. Just when you thought the rabbit hole couldn't go deeper, we get to the red pill concept. This term originated in The Matrix. Remember that movie? Taking the red pill means seeing the truth, no matter how painful. The blue pill means staying in blissful ignorance. Incels hijacked this metaphor. They believe they've been red-pilled, that they see the cruel truths about women in society, while everyone else is still blue-pilled. It's the kind of twisted empowerment fantasy that makes lonely boys feel like they're finally in control, even if that control turns into violence. Jamie believes the 80-20 rule, and that's the problem. Another toxic idea Jamie subscribes to is the 80-20 rule. This statistic claims that
which is where the 100 comes in, the 80-20 rule.
Adam, listen, my brain can't take all this. I don't know what you're talking about. Just break it down.
80% of women are attracted to 20% of men.
it's not science. It's pseudoscience with a dash of paranoia. And to a 13-year-old dealing with rejection and loneliness, it sounds terrifyingly true. Adolescence shows us that these ideas don't just live in memes and comment threads. They live in people. They grow. They warp logic. They destroy. Adolescence raises questions, the hard kind. What makes adolescence unforgettable is not the crime, not the twist, not even the disturbing realism. It's the quiet horror that everything Jamie believed is out there, that someone's son, brother, cousin might be reading the same forums, watching the same videos, falling down the same tunnel. And the numbers don't lie. Within weeks, Adolescence climbed to the top of Netflix's charts with over 100 million views. Audiences were hooked and haunted. It's been compared to 2024's Baby Reindeer in terms of impact, but the storytelling here is colder, sharper, like holding a mirror up to society and daring it to look away. One episode, the third, is just a 52-minute conversation between Jamie and Bryony. No flashy visuals, no dramatic music, just words. And yet, it feels like holding your breath underwater. It's that intense. A wake-up call disguised as entertainment. Parents, teachers, and even other teens, this is your wake-up call. The problems Adolescence highlights aren't new, but the way they sneak up on us online, unfiltered, unchecked, that's more dangerous than ever. Adolescence forces us to confront what's been growing in the shadows. Online misogyny, toxic masculinity, and vulnerable young people being led down dark paths. It's not just a show, it's a call for conversation. In a surprising twist that stirred both applause and debate, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has stepped into the cultural conversation surrounding adolescence, not just as a viewer, but as a policymaker. The PM recently announced that the critically acclaimed Netflix series will now be available for streaming in schools across the UK. So why is a fictional series making its way into the British education system? According to Starmer, it's more than just entertainment, it's an eye-opener. He described watching Adolescence with his teenage children as a deeply personal experience, admitting it hit home hard. The show's raw portrayal of toxic masculinity, online radicalization, and gender-based bullying isn't just resonating with viewers. It's starting conversations in places where they're long overdue. The move follows a closed-door roundtable discussion with educators, psychologists, charity representatives, and even the creators of Adolescence, all of whom advocated for the show's educational potential. Starmer believes the series can be a powerful catalyst for dialogue, offering teens a structured and safe space to unpack heavy themes like peer pressure, digital addiction, and emotional repression. Whether this is a genuine wake-up call or a carefully calculated PR move remains up for debate. But one thing's for sure, the government is finally acknowledging the digital age dilemmas teenagers are drowning in. And honestly, it's about time. If this video hit you in the gut or got your brain buzzing, like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're into deep dives, disturbing truths, or content that makes you go, wait, what? Make sure to subscribe to First Curiosity and hit that notification bell. See you next time.